and have learned over the past 3 years that what we hoped we would see in 2008 by electing the nation's first black president, that not only is it not true, change has not come, but as a result of that act, there are forces that have been lined up that have, in effect, turned the clock backward. As a people, as black folks, as people of color in this nation, there are a few things that we have to begin to address ourselves to in a way that is a bit more honest than we've allowed ourselves to handle up to this point. We can talk about Occupy Wall Street all day long, and still the problems that face us every day would be waiting for us at the end of that discussion. This American system has never had our best interests at heart. Whatever value we've been able to achieve here in this place is because of our blood, sweat, and tears. Make no mistake about that. They have never given us a thing. We got to become more honest. The need for class struggle is not just a national question. As people of color, we got to begin to understand that there are class issues within our own communities. Not everybody black down. Not everybody black who say they down, really down. We got to come to terms with that. We got to come to terms with the fact that our culture is not ours. Hip hop is not us. Hip hop is not us. What do I mean? Hip hop comes from us. It came from us, but just like slavery, just like when they took our children from us on the auction block and sold our children into slavery, and then allowed that child to grow up to about the age of 12 and 13, then would rape that child to produce more children for the slave economy so that they could make a profit at our people's expense. That human capital that we successfully fought. We fought. Lincoln didn't give us a thing. We fought to become free. 100,000 black soldiers is what enabled this country to become the United States of America. Or remain that, I should say. But it was those 100,000 black soldiers that contributed to the fight that enabled black people to leave the plantations in the South. They weren't waiting on Lincoln. But it was as a result of that fight, that struggle, that we were able to remove ourselves from the capacity of human capital. And the struggle is still here. Because they've taken the same concept utilized when they rendered us human capital, and now they've taken that with regard to our cultural capital. They beam our culture all over the world. But we don't define it. We don't determine what it is. We don't determine what blackness is any longer. Got y'all young folks running around calling themselves N-words and B-words as if, and then defend that. And we sit back and debate whether or not that's all right. And not recognize that we sick. Something's wrong with us. That our ancestors returned, they would fight somebody over calling us out our name like that. I thought we had 10. I'm going to hurry up. I'm going to end with a poem. It's called Open Letter to President Obama. You had us from jump. On the stump, a new Jack senator searching for America's better angels, politicking in the long shadow of Lincoln. You were our brother, from another mother. We saw your wife in the reflection of our sisters' faces. We saw our children's laughter in the rainbows of your daughter's smiles. You carried our hopes in the throat of your measured homilies, making history in Iowa when they began to attack you. So you wasn't black enough, only later to say that you was too black. We watched as you Harlem shook the drama like dandruff from your shoulders. We forgave you when you dissed your minister, the man who married you, taught you how to pray, only to watch them reject you, still call you Muslim, like they were spitting on you, who enunciate your middle name as if it were profane. We took it in stride, said it was par for the ride, but when they mocked you and your wife on magazine covers, said you were anti-American in league with terrorists, we were past holding our breath, sitting on the sidelines silent. We knew we had to show our hand. We armed ourselves with ballots, aiming at election day. On that day, we marched to the polls like we was marching on Selma, stood in lines that wrapped round whole townships like we was in Soweto chanting Mandela. We turned out in numbers never before seen, like we was freedom singing, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. But those days seem like a distant memory when we gaze upon you now. When we voted for change, we did not expect it be you. When we watched you let them perm your daughter's hair so it would not offend some potential white voter in Ohio who dreads our locks, maybe we should have taken that as a clue. That was not the only thing about to be relaxed, but we did not expect we'd be the ones to get lied on too. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. You President Obama, not King George, we get that, but that don't mean you're supposed to be the Republicans' whipping boy. You pretty as Ali, but beauty is as beauty does, and we still waiting on you to rope a dope named Boehner. We didn't vote for you to reach across party lines and play patty cake. We did not vote for you to become the Muppet of millionaires. Is that why you can't stand up for us? Has your spine been removed to make room for the hand of the man who's controlling you? Bombing the motherland was not in the plans. We didn't vote for you to always seek compromise for the sake of appearances, brother man. We see through the facade of a government run ramshot by a lynch mob who'd as soon set the White House on fire and watch you burn before they see you finish your term. Joking about secession as they plot assassination. When they say take our country back, they mean from you, black. That half of you that came from Kansas don't count. Your delusion is costing us the future we fought and died for. Didn't you get that memo that King left on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel? We ain't got nothing else to prove to these people. And neither do you. Yeah, we know you the president of all America, but ain't we America too? How can we pull ourselves up when our boots been snatched, been repossessed, been foreclosed? We can't afford to live vicariously through you in the White House while we're too busy trying to stay in our own homes. If we wanted disdain, to be ignored, to be treated worse than leopards, if we wanted to be dissed, we would have voted for McCain. Every time we hear you speak, your breath reeks of betrayal. As you surround yourself with men who resemble those who place our sons in cuffs, who now tell you that we can be taken for granted because we'll always vote blue. Play us, if you will. We are not the party's handmaidens to be treated like the help. Those days long gone, despite some folks' cinematized fantasies. Obama, we love you, and will always defend your right to be the president of these United States, but we intend to hold you to these truths, self-evident, that we too are equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights which we intend to pursue with all our God-given. Honestly, do you really believe it's just the Secret Service that protects you? Are they the only reason why you haven't been taken out? Don't you think they know what would happen if you were? Don't you think they know we can shut this system down overnight, and we both know they're not ready for that? What I'm saying is that we got your back. Have had it since before you was Commander-in-Chief. We just wonder when you're going to get ours. We're going to defend our best interests. Going to be our ally. Going to attack the enemies of our freedom. Who responsible for putting us on our knees like this? Who bleeding us like this? Got us pleading like we still slave. And what good is your America If even after our children pledge allegiance in schools, still segregated, we can't have the fruit that falls from America's branches watered with the blood of our family tree. What good is you if we still ain't free? But even as I write this, I wonder if it's too late, if you are too far gone, if we are left to our own to bring the change you claimed. The clock is ticking while you worry over pools and approval rates, but imagine the headlines the day you wake up and find 1 million black folks marching on your gates.